Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thanks for joining me for voting video number 394 in the Incredible Mandela Effect voting video series here on the Moneybag 73 channel. Okay, we have a huge Mandela Effect today. You're going to thumb this video up if you agree with me, and you're going to thumb up the top comment, which is a thumb down for the video if you disagree and there's no change for you. So we have a Mandela Effect with Stranger Things, and I've invited Evan Jr. with me today.
Hey guys, I'm happy to be back on the channel.
It's been a while since he's been on the channel with me. As many of you know, it's because of Evan Jr. that I even got into this. I may have at some later time, but I got into it when I did because of him asking me a series of questions, and he was only 13. And blew my mind, and that's led me on this 6-year journey of doing Mandela Effect videos. So let's get into this one. We have Stranger Things. A shout out to Erin79. She says, I think I got my son and his friends to finally understand about the Mandela Effect through Stranger Things. And I had read something about Stranger Things. You know, there's this article here. A creepy Johnathan moment may have been edited out of Stranger Things, and there could be more changes fans haven't found yet. So here he is in season 1, episode 2. Now, normally, this is not something I'd be able to talk on. I don't binge Netflix. This is not my type of thing, but my son had wanted the family to watch this, so we binged all 4 seasons, right?
Yeah, we basically watched everything, and it's fresh in our minds, so it's not even back in the past like we were looking at this. We just watched this like a couple weeks ago. So this is a massive change that just happened for us.
Yeah, so just to give you a little idea what's going on here, people were saying that the Duffer Brothers, the creators of the show, had gone back and edited this scene we're about to talk about. And so I just thought, well, because someone had put on Twitter that, oh, they're going to cause a Mandela Effect. And I responded to the guy and I said, if someone goes back and edits something, that's not the Mandela Effect. That's an edit. Someone changed something. The Mandela Effect has nothing to do with that. So I just wrote it off. But thanks to Erin, she made me look at this again. And this is incredible because I had to have my son come home and we put the scene back on. It's different than just a couple weeks ago. So I wanted to point this out here. The Duffer Brothers had done a Variety interview in June saying that they had George Lucased some things. So apparently what they changed was like a date or something, not something like this, which would totally change the show. They've come out on Twitter on their account here, Stranger Things, Stranger Writers. They came out after one of the articles were posted saying they were changing things. And they said it's hilarious that an article bashing the show for retroactively editing a scene based off a false TikTok rumor has now had to retroactively edit their own article. So this was saying they had gone back and edited something, and then they came on and said, no scenes from previous seasons have ever been cut or re-edited, and they never will be. When I saw this, I knew this was a Mandela Effect. And so I called up my son who was out working. I said, hey, got to put that show on. So he came home, and we watched the scene. I'm not going to show the show, but talk about the scene here, what's going on, what you remember, son, from this scene here at the pool party.
It was, Johnathan was photographing everyone at the pool party and getting photos of the pool. And then, as you guys know, Nancy goes up and to the room and she undresses in Steve's room and he's taking photos of the whole situation down there. And then he looks up and takes a photo of her in the room. But apparently he only takes a photo before she takes her clothes off or something, and never like when she's like looking the opposite direction and like her bra strap is there. That's never there for some reason.
So this is the photo in question here. I totally remember this. I was like wondering, what's this show my son's having me watch? We got some peeping Tom in the trees and taking photos of kids at a pool party. I thought it was kind of odd. Like he just keeps clicking photos. They jump in the pool and he takes a photo here. That's Barb sitting on the diving board. She gets sucked down by the Demogorgon. Is that what it is? So anyway, they're at the pool party. He's snapping shot after shot. And then Steve and Nancy go up to the bedroom for a little action. And he continues snapping shots, right?
Yeah.
She takes off her shirt, which we're looking at right here. And we see him take this shot through the camera. Because this here photo is from a scene that happens in the season 1, episode 3, where Steve here busts Johnathan. This is Johnathan. Steve, her boyfriend, busts the camera and hands his picture over to Nancy and says, look at what Johnathan was taking pictures of. But we saw him take the picture. So I don't know. It's crazy. This is 100% a Mandela effect for me. Would you say that for you, son?
Yeah, of course. I remember that scene vividly. I watched it, remembered it both times I watched the show. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I only saw it once. You've seen this episode more than once.
Mm-hmm.
So, thumb up if you are aware of this. I'm sure many of you, I mean, this is the #1 show on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Top show on Netflix. If you're aware of this, if you're aware of this scene, a lot of people just watched a lot of the scenes because they had season 4, so they're going back watching them. So this is fresh in a lot of people's minds here. And 100% change for me. And this goes along with what was that slap by Will Smith and
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. He slaps him and he says, "Uh-oh, here comes King Richard." But now it's, "Uh-oh, Richard, ha 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 ha," 13 times. I mean, it's just not. And I even showed in my video people talking about here comes King Richard. They like days after the thing, people were quoting that in articles, and it was never said. So that's a recent Mandela effect. And here we have one from 2016. I mean, this just happened for people, but you could say it's as old as 2016. People have gone on and checked their DVDs of this and say that the scene's not there. So it's not something that was just edited on the streaming on Netflix. It just isn't there. There was one tweet here that I wanted to show. So I think the Stranger Things scene edit people were talking about is a case of Mandela effect. I just looked at the DVD version, and the scene is exactly the same. People are wrongly remembered Johnathan taking a picture of Nancy in her bra, and he never did. No change. Ha ha ha. Obviously, there's something going on here because we have a lot of people remembering this scene, and it's fresh in a lot of people's minds. So before tying this one up, I just want to mention that with these most recent Mandela effect changes, with the Will Smith and Chris Rock slap, where it had changed within days afterwards. And this here, Stranger Things change, which is from an episode in 2016. Things people were saying when we first started talking about the Mandela effect don't really make sense. Can you speak to that, son?
Yeah, that everything was changing back in 2012. It seems like this is more of an ongoing thing that's happening, not just some solitary event that just happened. It seems like it just keeps going forward, or else we wouldn't see things like this, because this show came out in 2016. So, plus, people are seeing Mandela effects at their own pace, waking up to it when other people aren't. So, it's just, I don't think it's tied to 2012 or one particular event. I think it's an ongoing thing.
Right. This is continuing to happen. It's not something where we shifted from this parallel universe to this parallel universe. It's not, and it's an individual thing. Some people are seeing things, like you have all these people now. Well, recently, you just found out about the Chick-fil-A. I mean, that was being talked about not long after you asked me those initial questions about Looney Tunes and
Bernstein Bears and all that.
The Bernstein
and I saw
Bears.
Chick-fil-A, and I've been going to Chick-fil-A ever since, like, people have known about this, but I never saw it change until recently. So everybody takes this at their own pace.
I couldn't believe that my son didn't know about Chick-fil-A gaining the K, like not being CHIC, because that was being talked about 6 years ago when I got into the Mandela effect and when I used to talk to him about it a lot. But that just came into his reality just recently, and that's happening for a lot of people where they're just finding out about the King Tut mask. You know about that one, right?
Yeah.
Like it has a vulture next to the cobra now. All of a sudden, it was just a cobra my entire life. And so people are learning about these things, but we were talking about them years ago. So, the Mandela effect is happening for people at different times or waking up to different changes at different times. We don't all see the same changes. We don't all see the same things happening. So this is just a fascinating phenomenon that keeps happening. And it'll be interesting to see where this goes. As more and more people wake up, some people don't seem to ever going to wake up, but that's maybe they're never meant to. So that's it. Thanks for joining me today, son, for doing this video.
Yep, it was nice. Nice being back on.
Okay, so go create the reality that you want. I'll be back with everybody soon.